Welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing a stock analysis on Netflix. Now firstly we're going to take a look at some technical analysis, and then afterwards we're going to take a look at some fundamentals. Now as you probably noticed, firstly here we have a death cross recently. This happens when the 50-day moving average moves below the 200-day moving average, as you can see right here. The green line has moved below the yellow line. This happens when the momentum is more sellers than buyers in the market over a period of time. So you can also see that down here in the RSI. The RSI shows the relative strength index, which means the more sellers there are, the lower it lays here, and the more buyers there are, the higher it lays. So we can actually see it right after this spike. As you can see, it matches up here. We are trading down here in the lower channel almost all the time, in which we are simply just falling, and bottoming out at around $261. Now, we have had a bit of a rebound since then, trading upwards almost towards 900 again, but then as you can see in the pre-market today, we are already down 1.25%. Now, why this is happening, I don't know, because as you can see, recently we just had an earnings where they earned more than anticipated, which is nice. And of course, Netflix is a very, very renowned company, and they are a class leader. Now, a reason this might have happened is because, as you can see, if I zoom out the graph, the stock has been performing amazing over these last couple of years. So maybe that's why. But it did fall to a support point, as you can see here. I'm just gonna draw you a line here. As you can see, we have a support level here where it was trading sideways. It went below that, but as you can see, it is rebounding a bit. Now, if it doesn't regain this support level soon, it's gonna search for the next support level, which is right here, which is all the way down to 692. So is it going to trade down almost 30%? I of course do not know, but the next proper support level is all the way down here, which is quite interesting. And now as you can see, the blue line here also, it is trading quite a lot down. That is the 10-day moving average, which shows a bit of a shorter timeline, but the short timeline selling is quite more popular than buying. Now personally, I do think it's gonna stabilize a bit, but I still think it is gonna fall given the death cross we have here, and as you can see, we still have a very bad RSI. So I think it's gonna trade a bit like this, where it's gonna fall a bit more, then maybe regain a little, and then I think it's gonna trade downwards in the end. I think it's gonna end up some way around here, about 840 within the next 3 months. I think it's gonna be trading in this area. Now, the reason I think that is because generally the entire streaming services are down at the moment. We can also take a look at Disney. As you can see, they also recently made a death cross. We can also take Amazon. Of course, Amazon is not only a streaming service, but they also recently had a death cross. So other companies in the same market is trading down for and has been for a while now. I do think it's because of the political instability there is between the US and the EU, of course. So maybe that's why, and some people want to take out some of the risk being in America. Now, if we take a look at some of the fundamentals, of course, they are quite nice. They earn more money than anticipated most of the time. And as you can see, the annual earnings are quite nice. They actually have some of the highest marginal gains in the entire streaming branch. That is Netflix, which is a reason I like it quite a lot. You can also see quarterly, they are still making a ton of money. So yeah, very nice financials at the moment. Of course, you can see the past 2 years here, their graph has been amazing, almost 100% and then say 70%. Now, if we go back a bit further, let's just say 2012, as you can see, most of the time they actually end up gaining. The only real losses we have is 14 and 22. 22 they were down 50%, so that was quite a harsh year, which is also reasons I think they increased so much in 24 and 23. But as you can see, overall Netflix is an amazing stock to buy. Now, the reason I like this is because Netflix is a market leader in so many countries. In Europe, it's a market leader. In the US, it's a market leader. And it is gaining popularity in Japan and Korea because they are making country-specific shows. Take Squid Games, for example, which is Korean, but that shit blew up all over the world. They're also huge into anime now and producing a ton of those, which also gain very nice following globally. And also sports, as you might not know, they recently joined a deal with WWE, the wrestling, and there are also talks that they're going to get some football rights and maybe even the Formula One rights. This, of course, still speculation. We have nothing firm on this yet, but it would be quite nice to see them get into that because sports is a huge, huge, huge thing. Because that's just going to get you a lot more fans. Because people aren't really watching normal Flow TV anymore with the tons of ads. So if you could just see normal football or normal soccer or Formula One or boxing, whatever it is, it's gonna be quite nice for Netflix. So Netflix, in the short term, I wouldn't buy it personally. I don't have any at the moment. I am gonna wait at least a couple months to see this graph of the technical analysis just get a bit better before I'm buying personally. Now, as you can see, also the technical analysis here, it is a sell. For the month, it's a buy, which is because we had this huge increase on the earnings. But at this point, I wouldn't really take that into consideration because it's simply just too uncertain. The analysis is also a buy, and of course, that is the 1 year price target. So later this year, I think this is quite reasonable, to be honest. We have this one outlier here of the strong buy, which is at 1,494, which is insanely high. I think that's quite unreasonable. That's of course 60% up, and I don't think it's going to do that. If we also take a look at the 24 and 23, so that is simply way too much at this time. So yeah, at this time, don't buy. Wait for it to maybe fall a bit or to stable off a bit. So yeah, that is it for the stock analysis. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.